So we're going to go ahead now. We have, this is it's almost June. And obviously June is psychotherapist and summer, which is the things we're doing. This week it's Freud would have a field day with this. Next week, Jung and Hart. So we're going to hey, I got to pull out the psychotherapy right there. Hey. And after we're done, everybody, we're going to break up in small groups and discuss what the real meaning of that story was. So we're going to start the show off together this evening with a gentleman who I think is perfect to lead off tonight. Will you please welcome Mr. Paul Candace.
When you were saying perfect, I thought, who's it's not me, it's going to be somebody else. So I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, here I am. Tonight's theme, Freud would have had a field day. And the name of my story is The Case of the Plastic Bags on the Stairway. So, I'm the apartment manager, and some people I've told many stories about that, and I recently moved to a new apartment like 4 years ago. I already had a mysterious thing start happening on the stairway, where things I would put on the stairway would either be at the top of the stairway, or would be on the patio. And I didn't know who was doing it. And it started to escalate to the point of one day I was going to buy some flowers. I bought some flowers to plant as the apartment manager in the garden. Well, they kept going out into the patio where everyone could see them and maybe steal them and put them into their own home. So I was kind of nervous. Why would somebody keep doing that? So after 5 times of moving these flowers off my stairs and into the patio, he finally comes out, the tenant, who is sort of knew that I moved next to it, says, "That's a fire hazard. Anything on those stairs is a fire hazard." I was like, whoa, what are you talking about, buddy? I mean, you see people every day, and all of a sudden you think that they're normal, but there's something going on up there, right? You know, that's should be locked up, but clearly not locked up. And, okay, so well, wait a minute here. Those aren't your stairs, number one, and flowers on the, and then the neighbor across the pool sees and hears this and, oh, those flowers look great on your stairs like that. I was looking for flowers on stairs in pictures. I was looking through magazines. And he looked at her with wild eyes. You're crazy, woman. And this was like about a year ago. He hasn't spoken to her since. And she says hi, and he ignores and looks over as if, you know, this one, and she's crazy. You know, she's a crazy one. So it goes to my boss. You know, he talks to my boss about things being on. Well, I have to look at it and see if there is a fire code problem or if the guy is a sociopath and just trying to control everything. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Freud would have a field day with this guy because he can't control what's going on up here or what's going on in his life or in the apartment, but by God, I'm going to control those stairs. I'm going to take things up and down the stairs and put them on the patio. Oh, I can control those stairs. Well, gee whiz. So, and then I went to the psychic, and the psychic said, it's your job. That's your job, to get along with all the neighbors. And I was like, oh man, wait a minute. And then there's an old saying you may have heard, some of you, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? You know, I want to be right, ladies and gentlemen. God darn it, he's wrong. Those aren't his stairs, right? So I lay off for a while, you know, and then I get lazy. I start getting a little lazy. Now, many of you know that I have a dog. He used to come on. This is us on Memorial Day. So here, you can pass that around to look at Freckles. Freckles the dog. So when I walk Freckles, I have to have a plastic bag, so his business, when he does his business, goes in the bag, right? Well, I started attaching bags to the stairway, to the railing. And then the bags would be at the bottom, so that when I get to the bottom of the steps, I would take it. Then the next day or later on that day, it would be at the top of the stairs onto the railing tied. Okay, well, and even during the year, you know, when I had something that I wanted to go upstairs, I was like, oh, I'll just put it here and I'll end up at the top of the stairs, you know. So I started working with him a little bit. And then this bag started to disappear. And that's when I said, wait a minute, now you've gone too far. You're stealing the bags from my dog when he has to do his business. So I became angry, and what I did was I made a sign, and I stuck it to the railing, and I brought the sign tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It says, hands off, you get that camera? Hands off forever. And then I took out the other part that said bag stealer. Because I wasn't going to name the guy, and it hung all sorts of bags. And it seemed to freeze him up for some reason. And all the time that this is going on through the last few years, I'm praying for the guy, because I don't know what to do. I'm praying for him. You know, I'm a light worker. I'm sending the light with the white light. It's for the highest good of all concern. Well, you know, one day I found a pair of shoes by the pool that were like thongs to wear around the pool. I had them for several months. And he said to me, I lost a pair of them. And I was like, ooh. I don't think you want them after I've had them for 6 months. And it took you that long to find. So maybe that was a gift, I don't know, for putting up and praying to him, whatever, for him, whatever, you know, all that kind of stuff. And now I'm at a church now. I've been away for a while, and my reverend is saying, when you're having a problem with somebody, compliment the guy. Find out what's good with him, and give him that. Give him a lot of that, you know? And it'll change. The person will change. So maybe after 3 or 4 years of doing this stuff, that I was positive energy, all this stuff, you know, he's kind of stuck there. And he doesn't know what to do. So my boss, my new boss, Levi, is sitting at the patio down there and talking to some of the neighbors. The neighbor leaves. And then this guy, this neighbor, I'm clear not to say his name because I don't know who's going to see this tape. But anyway, because I tape everything. So he goes to he talks to him, you know, starts talking to him. And the neighbor previously was talking to him, overheard, you know, what they were saying, the words bag, stairway, you know, everything all in there, you know, but she couldn't hear exactly. She said that Levi had the most disgusted look on his face, could not wait to get away from the guy, and finally like took off, like, oh, I gotta call. And she saw everything. And that was about 4 or 5 days ago. I've spoken to Levi a few times. He hasn't said anything at all to me about the bags on the stairs or anything. So right now, all's quiet on the stairway for now. I hope there's not a part 2 to this. I just hope there's not. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Paul Candace. So much to dwell on after that story. Now, would you clarify the phrase for me? I tape everything. I'd like to get... Boy, oh boy. You know, it doesn't. I don't need a psychic to tell you there's going to be a 911 call coming from that complex very shortly. It sounds like that way. By the way, I participated in Hands Off Forever in 1988.